มันเชี่ยวมากเลยนะดูดิย่นอย่างเนี้ยย่นอย่างเนี้ยโอ้ยเล่นไม่ได้จับเหนียงหนูไม่ได้นะครับเดี๋ยวนะใจเย็นโอ้ลูกมันบ้าเองไอเด็กมันบ้าเองไม่มีใครทำไรใจเย็นไอเด็กมันบ้าเองอ่ะเด็กงับเข้าให้ไม่เอาเสียวเลือดออกอุ้ยฟันไม่คมเท่าไหร่นะครับไม่คมเท่าไหร่ล้อเล่นนะเดี๋ยวนะอย่าตีฉันมันเชี่ยวมากเลยนะดูดิย่นอย่างเนี้ยย่นอย่างเนี้ยโอ้ยเล่นไม่ได้จับเหนียงหนูไม่ได้นะครับเดี๋ยวนะใจเย็นโอ้ลูกมันบ้าเองไอเด็กมันบ้าเองไม่มีใครทำไรใจเย็นไอเด็กมันบ้าเองอ่ะเด็กงับเข้าให้ไม่เอาเสียวเลือดออกอุ้ยฟันไม่คมเท่าไหร่นะครับไม่คมเท่าไหร่ล้อเล่นนะเดี๋ยวนะอย่าตีฉันมันเชี่ยวมากเลยนะดูดิย่นอย่างเนี้ยย่นอย่างเนี้ยโอ้ยเล่นไม่ได้จับเหนียงหนูไม่ได้นะครับเดี๋ยวนะใจเย็นโอ้ลูกมันบ้าเองไอเด็กมันบ้าเองไม่มีใครทำไรใจเย็นไอเด็กมันบ้าเองอ่ะเด็กงับเข้าให้ไม่เอาเสียวเลือดออกอุ้ยฟันไม่คมเท่าไหร่นะครับไม่คมเท่าไหร่ล้อเล่นนะ
Drinking while driving?
Yes, Your Honor. And 4 unopened containers.
He was playing that beat. I was like, yo, Ted, this is crazy. I'm like, yo, me and M would be crazy on here. He's like, yeah. So I hit M, I call M. I'm like, yo. He was playing that beat. I was like, yo, Ted, this is crazy. I'm like, yo, me and M would be crazy on here. He's like, yeah. So I hit M, I call M. I'm like, yo, I think I got a joint. He's like, oh, send it to me. So I sent him the song just to hear the beat. Once he heard the beat, me and M actually went to Dr. Dre's studio and recorded it out in LA. We went together. The way the process was, I would write my rhyme, then I would lay it, then I would leave. He would come in, he would hear it, I would leave. He would write his rhyme, he would record, I would and we went back and forth in the booth. And that beat, I was like, yo, Ted, this is crazy. I'm like, yo, me and M would be crazy on here. He's like, yeah. So I hit M, I call M. I'm like, yo, I think I got a joint. He's like, oh, send it to me. So I sent him the song just to hear the beat. Once he heard the beat, me and M actually went to Dr. Dre's studio and recorded it out in LA. We went together. The way the process was, I would write my rhyme, then I would lay it, then I would leave. He would come in, he would hear it, I would leave. He would write his rhyme, he would record, I would and we went back and forth in the booth without seeing each other. Benny bitty beat you stomping and making them bark. Women treat me like BDK, the king, and they feed me grapes. Either way, I got more.
You spit one more time.
You lie.
Spit one more time.
Cause you
One
lie.
more time.
Put a
Spit
false
one
name
more
in
time.
there. Put my false name in there. You know.
Don't let the camera
But
fool
you
you.
put a
Spit
false
one more
name.
time.
I did.
In today's episode, we'll dive brush. When officers took statements from the victims, they spotted the woman in a nearby vacant field.
Okay, can you
Hey,
this?
liquor bottle. Fuck my face.
All right.
Flat Earthers, y'all know me, right? I'm here just to tell you something. I want you to stay flat. Because if you don't, then the next generation is gonna suffer. Eh? Remember, flat.
When I saw jolly old Saint Nick preaching the good word of flat earth theory, I knew maybe this wasn't bullshit. Maybe there was something more to this. There's only two people I trust, and it's Santa Claus and Logan Paul. Both of them believe in flat Earth. Maybe there's something to this. It's like the old Christmas jingle goes. Santa Claus, he'll fuck your bitch. Miss Saint Nick can suck a dick. Milk and cookies, fuck that shit. Leave him flat Earth and a bottle of piss. Not a bad freestyle. What I'm saying is, fucking Santa Claus knows what's up. And if Santa Claus believes in flat Earth, maybe I should too. So I started watching videos from the experts in the community, and then I finally found one that puts NASA to shame. Evidence that's indisputable, extremely compelling evidence, and I'm gonna share it with you now.
Don't worry though, there is a way to scientifically prove that the Earth is flat, and it's a pretty simple experiment. I'll explain with the Lego Earth. Here we have a small, flat Earth.
I think that's about all we need to see here. Checkmate, round Earth sheep. Was that a little too much for your little reptile brains to comprehend? When the Lego set comes out, that's when you know shit's getting serious and scientific. I remember when Isaac Newton first proved gravity's existence using his Lego set and the world was blown away. And now, this pioneer is doing the same, proving flat Earth is true.
BenderForest.com.
It was actually this video right here that convinced me without a shadow of a doubt that the Earth is flat. Now, the symbolism here and the little nuance of the video game he's created might go over your head if you're some primitive round earther, but if you've opened your eyes, if you're a euphoric being like myself, who can see that the world is obviously flat, you would understand what the creator is trying to say here. He's like a fucking Mozart here, playing this beautiful symphony of truth with flat Earth. You have to be injecting heroin to think the world is round and is spherical. It's the stupidest thing in the world. You have to be out of your mind, literally, to think that the world is round. Now, if you go into the comments section, some blasphemer was saying that the world is absolutely round, but luckily, this brave hero was able to disprove him with some just downright straight fucking facts. Just laying down a butt-fucking of facts into this man's butt-fuck hole. And with a name like Unbelievable Productions, you knew you didn't stand a chance in a debate against him. He will unbelievably butt-fuck you, especially with his production value like this. Now, let's get serious for a moment. Yeah, Flat Earth is a big fucking joke. The content they produce on YouTube is some of my favorite because there's shit like this and it's always super enjoyable to laugh at. But I do think the movement as a whole, which is somehow gaining steam, is super dangerous. Thinking the Earth is flat, it's fine if you want to be some type of fucking troglodyte, I don't care if you believe that. But it's the idea that science is wrong and denying science where I get upset, and that's what's genuinely detrimental to society. Anti-vax and Flat Earth, they're basically the same thing, but for some reason they hate each other and think the other one is fucking dumb. But they're the same. They're born from the same idea that science is wrong and hurting us. And that's dangerous because these fucking idiots can't recognize that science is the only reason they're even alive today. Because half of these goddamn idiots would have already died fucking choking on a rock they ate because they thought it looked appetizing. Or bathing in sewage and getting an infection. Perhaps eating a block of plutonium because it smelt nice. These people would be dead without science, and yet for some reason they're the first to turn around and bash it and say it's wrong and a lie. Logan Paul, I don't think believes flat Earth. I'm 100% certain he's just there to capitalize on the money there, sell some maverick flat Earth merch to them because these fucking idiots have so much disposable income that they seem to just want to get rid of all of their money, tossing it at lunatics building rockets in their backyard. So Logan Paul's smart to get into that market, and I don't think many of the people in the Flat Earth Society actually believe it. Like I said, I think they're just there to capitalize on all the disposable income they all seem to have. And you know what, that's completely fine by me. If you want to take money from these Tide Pod eating douchebags that are just too fucking dumb, I don't really mind, because they genuinely are promoting a dangerous idea to the impressionable children that science is evil and always lying to you. Don't believe science, just believe us. And it's this weird indoctrination shit, a very strange cult. But yeah, anyway, what I wanted to really talk about today was the beautiful content they produce, and I really hope they do keep making these because I watch them pretty often. And I wanted to make this today because the big news about Logan Paul being a flat earther and the flat earth movement is really growing again. I'm seeing a lot of posts on Facebook from dumb friends of mine in the past like, here's the truth, removing anyone that doesn't believe, bless up, 100 emoji, just shit like that. But keep up the great content, flat earthers. It's always nice to laugh at, and good shit. So yeah, you all know I'm a big fan of conspiracy theories, as long as they're harmless, fun ones such as, you know, reptilians controlling the world, talking about like zippers on the sides to some powerful people's necks that reveal a giant lizard underneath the human skin suit. Flat Earth is always a classic fun one to play with. But then there's they're very dangerous ones, and I think one of them that's really taking a huge upswing in the amount of people that believe it is 5G causing the coronavirus. A month ago, this was a fucking joke across the entire internet. But now, in the last month, everyone's quarantined, locked down, desperate, bored, and I think they're getting fucking dumber. Because there's so many people that are now unironically believing 5G is the cause of coronavirus that I actually can't believe it. These same people probably believe chocolate milk comes from brown cows. It takes mere minutes of research outside of Facebook anti-vax groups, actual scientific research. It takes only minutes to immediately disprove that and find there is no connection between 5G towers and coronavirus. That shouldn't be shocking to the majority of people, but to some people, I'm speaking blasphemy. I am the puppet of the Illuminati to some people for saying that, because these people see the truth. These high school dropouts that failed every fucking course, no, they're the ones that understand the 5G connection and coronavirus, not the scientists, not the experts. These fucking limp-dicked fucking idiots sitting in their basement for fear that the government's listening to them through their alarm clock, so they have a tinfoil hat and condom on. Those are the real intellectuals. And they're spreading this kind of shit on the internet, which is laughable and it's fun to make fun of. But now they're starting to set cell phone towers on fire? It's fucking crazy. It's getting actually dangerous now. So, how did this start? I'm not here to be a fucking science professor, so I'm not going to tackle every angle of this. I'm just going to point out the most common and the most obvious fallacies in this logic of 5G being the coronavirus culprit, the one that's really controlling it all, and how the government, big brothers, got us under their thumb. They don't want us to see the Earth is really flat, so they're using coronavirus to keep us inside and erect more 5G towers. We'll start with the origin of this conspiracy, at least in regards to coronavirus. In China, Wuhan, a 5G tower was rolled out at the end of 2019, so just a little bit before coronavirus broke out, and people are attributing the tower as the cause. That is ground zero of coronavirus. The tower caused it. That's pretty much where that logic ends. And then, as it spreads to the United States, they're saying the 5G towers are the cause of coronavirus in the US. Not because it's contagious through, you know, spreading and being around people, but because the towers themselves are emitting too much radiation and it's causing the coronavirus, and the coronavirus itself isn't even real. It's a made-up hoax to cover for radiation poisoning. I've spent a few hours researching the conspiracy theory and looking around what everyone says on Twitter in these circles that truly believe this stuff, and they seem to all agree that coronavirus itself isn't real. What it is just radiation sickness, because the symptoms of radiation sickness are similar to those that are being reported with coronavirus. So that's basically the whole conspiracy in a nutshell. And it is fucking ridiculous. So, 5G towers have existed in the US since early 2019. While the idea of 5G has existed much longer, most people seem to think we've had 5G for longer, we really didn't start getting 5G until early 2019 with actual towers and everything being built around the US. Those aren't make-believe. That's not like Tooth Fairy shit, it's real. You can go see those 5G towers in the real world, in person. It's not smoke and mirrors, no magic tricks. That shit is there, and it has been there since 2019. There were no cases of coronavirus in the US throughout all of 2019, and there were no cases of coronavirus in the US until the China incident where coronavirus started to explode, and then you know how the story goes from there. It spread throughout the entire world, but they seem to think that it's not actually spreading from human to human contact. It's being transmitted via the beams from the towers of 5G. That seems to be their accepted belief. I'll immediately poke a hole in that. Israel has 7,400 cases of coronavirus with 39 dead. Israel has no 5G towers. None. So how the fuck can that happen by this logic? Some enlightened Twitter users will be quick to point out that the radiation sickness was transferred. Someone who's infected by a tower in the US or some other part of the world traveled to Israel and started spreading it that way. Well, that's impossible via your radiation sickness hypothesis, because radiation sickness isn't contagious. You watched Chernobyl on HBO and you think you understand everything there is to know about radiation. Well, I'll tell you one thing Chernobyl got wrong. You are not some kind of walking fucking virus with radiation sickness. If someone you know has radiation sickness, they cannot transfer that onto you. If their entire fucking clothes, their entire wardrobe is covered in dense radiation, and they try and suffocate you with that, maybe. But as a whole, radiation sickness itself is not contagious. So you'd have to immediately throw out the radiation sickness hypothesis because it wouldn't be able to spread. It'd have to be coronavirus, which does exist and is very, very contagious, which is why people are being ordered to stay inside. If it was radiation poisoning, radiation sickness, it wouldn't matter if you were around 1,000 people. No one is going to catch that from you. It's easy to poke 1,000 different holes into this 5G coronavirus conspiracy. You can turn this shit into a fucking pincushion because it is so weak. But so many people still believe it just because I think they want to. They want to believe it's something bigger, like some like grand conspiracy, just a man trying to keep them down or something. It's so silly. If you look into it yourself, it's going to be hard not to laugh at it because the leaps and these conclusions they draw are so nonsensical. It's ridiculous. I just picked two quick ones to point out because those are the two most obvious ones that they have really no answer for that I've seen, and I'm sure there's going to be some comments on the video that immediately disregard shit and still try and promote the idea that 5G coronavirus thing is real, which is just pathetic. But anyway, I know I don't need to poke holes in it because it's already so goddamn silly if you even look at it for a second. I don't like having to be your fucking science teacher here. I graduated from university with a human sciences degree, so I do understand a lot of this stuff. Granted, I'm not as brushed up on the whole field as I used to be because I barely fucking use that knowledge anymore. But I do get it, and I understand where this fear comes from. You're locked inside, you're desperate, you're looking for answers, and you have no idea what else to turn to. So Twitter has this giant fucking platform full of lunatics that seem to believe this and are promoting it as a real thing. And since you're constantly on Twitter with nothing else to do besides jerk off and read garbage Twitter posts, you see this and you start to accept it. I get it, I'm not blaming those people. But it is a very dangerous thing to just blindly follow this shit with no science and not doing any research on it at all. Now, what I do find interesting is there is a community of real scientists that are apprehensive about 5G's implementation and the future of 5G and what health implications it could have down the line. The conspiracy side of things is using this to promote the idea that scientists are afraid of it and they think that the scientists believe that it caused coronavirus. That couldn't be further from the truth. None of those scientists that are afraid of 5G's implications down the line have said anything about it being coronavirus related, which is what I'm focusing on. The scientists' main concern is they haven't been able to study the long-term health effects of what 5G could do in the future. There's nothing about coronavirus or anything like that. This community just wants a little more research done on 5G before it's implemented, and they think it's perhaps a bit rushed. It has nothing to do with the fucking scientists thinking that it's the cause of coronavirus. Again, this isn't a small community either. If you look up any 5G video on YouTube right now, it's overwhelmingly disliked with thousands of comments saying, "This is bullshit, don't trust them, rise up sheeple, it's time we take back our lives, don't let them control our minds, you know, don't let anyone tell you what to believe," as they're being told what to believe by somebody else. You know, I'm all for questioning the media and questioning sources and doing a lot of research to form your opinions, but I find it seriously hypocritical how this community keeps saying, "Don't trust anyone, but trust me." It makes no sense. Like, don't listen to anyone, don't let anyone tell you what to believe, as they're being told what to believe by some dude in his shit-stained underwear in a chat room somewhere. It's fucking silly. It's very hypocritical. Again, I'm all for questioning things you see in the media and online. I think that is the most healthy thing you can do. But when you start just entering an echo chamber and only looking up things that support what you want to believe, you're not getting anywhere and you're only making the problem worse. Now, I'm only focusing on the coronavirus aspect of this conspiracy theory. It goes much deeper with 5G. 5G itself is a rabbit hole for a crazy amount of conspiracies, especially on YouTube. For some reason, it seems a lot of YouTubers and YouTube commenters really believe that 5G is this ultimate boogeyman, like this final boss that's holding back the human species. Like, 5G is the one that's keeping us from growing wings and opening our third eye. It's weird. I don't know why everyone's latched on to 5G as this mega evil mastermind shit, but they have. But in regards to coronavirus, which is all I want to focus on, there's absolutely no possible way that 5G has caused coronavirus. You can just look at data, like real time, because it's only been a couple of months. You can see that 5G had no role to play. You can pretty much trace where coronavirus started in each area that it's in. It's right there at your fucking fingertips. You only need to look for a second in real, actual fucking sources outside of bad Twitter shitposts, anti-vax Facebook soccer mom groups, Just do real fucking research and form your own opinions, but this one is very silly, and lighting 5G cell phone towers on fire isn't doing anyone any good. You're causing more damage with the chemicals you put into the air from fucking burning that thing than the 5G arrays, the beams. This fear of cell phones and networking has existed for as long as communication has, and it's always been ridiculous. It's always been silly and laughable, but Twitter is the place that now, no matter how outlandish and how ridiculous a belief is, it's going to blow up and it's going to have a big movement behind it. It doesn't matter what it is. Like on Twitter, for example, there's whole communities of people that fuck dogs. Like this community that would never find a home anywhere finds a home on Twitter, and there's thousands of them. There's pages on Twitter that actively talk about fucking their dog and have tens of thousands of followers that all support that and do the same thing. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. So then you'll have these people that believe that cell phones are the evil, dangerous thing, and you'll have people that just want to feel like they're smarter than everyone else. You know, they're the ones that saw the truth, peeked behind the curtains and got the truth. So they'll believe these things, they'll spread it on Twitter, and then people that are gullible, bored, or just susceptible to misinformation start believing it, start getting real riled up, and then it leads to just absolute chaos, and that leads to setting a 5G tower on fire for no fucking reason. It's just crazy shit. I don't get why people are targeting 5G for coronavirus specifically, because there's really nothing there. The only piece of evidence that's even remotely true is that there was a 5G tower built in Wuhan a couple months before coronavirus outbreak. There's another thing I see tossed around how this one's just so fucking stupid. This community plotted out every major pandemic or every major flu and correlated it to mobile towers and networking, as if that has any correlation at all. So they have like the Spanish flu and then world's first prototype mobile network. Coincidence? No, I don't think so. And there's like 6 of these and it says 6 coincidences? That's impossible. It's just so fucking stupid. You can go through history and correlate every single one of those pandemics or flus to something else too. You know, peanut butter sandwiches invented in 1914. 4 years later, Spanish flu. Interesting. Peanut butter jelly sandwiches start getting packaged in the, you know, the next one. It's just dumb. This is just such fucking terrible research and evidence, and yet people are believing it at face value, probably just out of boredom. But I just wanted to talk about it because it's got me fucking fired up, because this shit is just wacky. This isn't the same kind of fun to laugh at conspiracy theory like flat earth and all that. This one has people believing it's fine for them to go outside and just spread fucking shit all over the place, especially in a time of pandemic like this, because they're convinced they know the truth that it's the cell phone towers, not coronavirus, so that it has been hurting everyone around them. I think it's just terrible. So I just wanted to talk about that. That's it. See ya. Yeah, I love conspiracy theories, but this shit is getting out of hand. There's a new, insane conspiracy every single day, just some wacky, goofy shit. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fucking group on Twitter that thinks Reptar cereal is the instrument of Hillary Clinton to brainwash children into worshiping the devil or some garbage. You see it all over the internet every single day with these people that like to think that they're so special and intellectually enlightened that they have opened their 3rd, 4th, and 5th eye, they've awakened their Sharingan, and now they're seeing the truth behind everything. There's nothing wrong with questioning things. It's extremely healthy and extremely important to do, but when you question every single thing ever and discredit science and come up with some actual diarrhea dog shit, maybe you're the crazy person. Like, you have people saying, oh, water's evil. In fact, we've been lied to all our lives. The human body doesn't require water. In fact, water was cursed by Bill Gates over 3 millennia ago, and we're not even drinking water. We're drinking a mind control potion that Bill Gates has got to us. In fact, the only fluid we should be consuming is a Diet Coke via enema. Please join me, enlightened brothers, and you'll have like 50,000 people on that Facebook page that all agree with that. It's just crazy shit. Like the Wayfair conspiracy is another big one where everyone said they were human trafficking people in fucking wardrobes and shit and pillows. It's actual nonsense, but everyone likes to think that they're seeing the truth, which is what makes conspiracy so appealing. And once you get ingrained in a conspiracy, once you start believing in it, you're never going to change that belief, or at least the majority of people don't. Like flat earthers, for example. Flat earthers are like Looney Tunes villains that can't do anything fucking right to support their point. Flat earthers in their own documentaries have proven themselves wrong multiple times and then just throw that away. Like in the end of the most recent documentary I can think of on flat earthers, they proved the earth is round with their own experiment, and they said, huh, that's interesting. Must have done something wrong. Even doing their own experiment perfectly correct and proving the Earth was round, they just said, no, it's still flat, even though this proved it was round with our own science. You can't convince people of these things because they just don't want to believe it. They'd rather stay believing in some garbage to make themselves still feel like they're special. Like people that think the moon is fake, you could literally fly them to the moon and they would say it doesn't exist. They'd say you drug them and just put them in Nevada on a CGI set or something. No matter how many times and how thoroughly these awful conspiracies get debunked, people are always going to believe them. It is what it is, so now I just kind of enjoy the chaos of it all, and there's been some absolute bangers when it comes to bullshit conspiracies recently, like spirit cooking is a really good one. There's also a wild one about the tablets of Thoth being used to resurrect an ancient deity from the underworld who's going to rise and exterminate Earth for its sin. Another really cool one I've been into is that Atlantis is real, and the previous god of Atlantis is very upset with the state of the world. So to get back at us, he started cloning celebrities. I don't know how exactly that, punishes us to just clone celebrities, but apparently that's what the god of Atlantis is doing, according to a bunch of people. It's just some really fucking incredible stuff. Like, these conspiracies make Sonic the Hedgehog fan fiction sound sane. And when I mention conspiracies like this, it's not like one person who's having some kind of bad acid trip and writing this shit down in some kind of journal. It's communities of people that believe this.
Get away from me, Duriel, fake Duriel.
Facebook groups and stuff. Just kind of
fake Duriel.
Getting a little bit of a giggle out of it. But admittedly, it is sad to see people genuinely believe some of these things and be fearful of this boogeyman who's coming from like the 12th dimension as a time-traveling pedophile to steal away people's families or something. It is sad to see people kind of believe these things and act so out of fear online about shit that absolutely isn't true at all. But that being said, I thought it'd be fun to add some fuel to this fire here, and I'll bring up a conspiracy that I believe in. I'm sure some of you might remember this. Berenstain versus Berenstain Bears. I made a video on this a few years back, kind of blowing this shit wide open and spreading the cheeks of this conspiracy to get into the meat of it. And I think it's time, in the current climate of things, we reopen this one. We gotta open this wound up again and pour some salt on it and figure out what the fuck is going on. So, to break down the Berenstain versus Berenstain Bears conspiracy, growing up, there was a very popular book series called the Berenstain Bears. Or at least, that's what the government and the reality puppeteers would have you believe. What I remember growing up, having written reports on this book series, was it was always called the Berenstain Bears. And the majority of people in my age range, 25 years old, also remember it as Berenstain Bears. However, if you check the so-called official records and the history of this planet, you'll realize that it's never been called the Berenstain Bears. It's always been Berenstain. There wasn't some kind of rebranding from Steen to Stain. It has always existed as the Berenstain Bears. When I learned about this, I went back through all of my Berenstain Bears books to see, for proof, look, it was called Berenstain, only to realize in shock and horror that my once authentic Berenstain Bears books had been subtly changed to Berenstain. As if some kind of adjustment bureau, some kind of, legion of tooth fairies or something came in when I wasn't looking and they very subtly changed the name to Stain over Steen. Semi-chubbed and in a panic, I began searching throughout the entire internet for proof that it was once Berenstain Bears in this corporeal dimension we inhabit. However, everything points to the fact that it was always Berenstain Bears. So then what's the explanation? Well, most people chalk this up to the Mandela effect. For those that don't know, the Mandela effect is when a large group of people remember events differently than they actually occurred. Basically, it's just a large group of people that misremember something, and oftentimes when faced with the truth, people say the truth is wrong because they have these vivid memories that don't match up with it. And yes, memories aren't the most reliable source when it comes to figuring out what's real and what actually happened. However, in this case, fuck you. I am not wrong. You can hold my nutsack in your goddamn mouth. It was definitely Berenstain Bears at some point over the last 25 years. Like I said, I used to write reports on these goddamn things, and I used to write it as Berenstain Bears, because I didn't know what the fuck stain was, but I knew what a stain was, obviously, because I was fucking staining my diapers with fucking shit constantly, so I knew what a stain was. So I'd write Berenstain, only to lose points on my reports, teachers just fucking scratching it out. Charlie, you're never gonna make it in college with this kind of garbage. because they said it's not Stain, it's Steen, so I'd lose points, and then I got it really fucking ingrained in me that it's Berenstain instead of Stain. So this has like a personal connection with me. I fucking know it. I still believe it. And so, what is the other explanation? Well, a lot of highly intellectual truth seekers believe that at some point in the last 25 years, the multiverse has collapsed in on itself. So the multiverse theory suggests there's infinite number of universes, and at some point in the last 25 years, our Berenstain timeline collapsed on top of the Berenstain timeline, causing subtle changes in the two as we transformed into this Autobot of disappointment. And that's why we're left with Berenstain instead of Steen, and only some of us remember it as Steen instead of Stain. The chosen few, the cream of the crop that remember it as Berenstain. So there's a fun little conspiracy to play around with, I think. Hey, that one's got some meat to it, I will say. The Berenstain versus Berenstain one that one's near and dear to my boners. Like, that shit I think is really weird. Because, like I said, I really do remember getting points off for writing Stain, because I thought it was Berenstain as a kid, but I was told it was Berenstain. And I wish I could find those reports, but obviously I don't have homework from 20 years ago. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. See ya. Yesterday, one brave nurse stepped forward in front of upwards of 4 people and told the world the dark truth we didn't want to hear. She opened our third eye, dragged us kicking and screaming into the light, to the danger of the COVID vaccine. She showed us that it magnetizes the human body, and her science is irrefutable. And to be honest, it really makes sense. I'm vaccinated, and ever since getting the vaccine, I've noticed when I go in the kitchen, my knives start to shake a little bit. So now that I know the truth, I'm gonna have to switch to like ceramic knives or something like that, so that way I don't go down there and just get like fucking, you know, impaled by 10 different knives like I was attacked by Magneto. You know, I'm gonna have to take precautions now that I'm aware.
Yes, vaccines do harm people. By the way, so I just found out something when I was on lunch, and I wanted to show it to you. We were talking about Dr. Tenpenny's testimony about magnetic vaccine crystals. So this is what I found out. So I have a key and a bobby pin here. Explain to me why the key sticks to me. It sticks to my neck, too. It sticks to my neck, too. I got this. Yeah, so if somebody can explain this, that would be great. Any questions?
This guy's face really says it all, to be honest. Of course there were no questions, because you can't disprove that. Like, that is as bulletproof as science can get. Did you see the way the key stuck to her chest? There is no other explanation other than the fact that her entire body has become a magnet because of the COVID vaccine. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, open your eyes. It's so clear now that she's blown the lid wide open. I think the fact that this lady is a nurse should be extremely inspiring to all of you watching this, because this proves that no matter how fucking dumb you are, you can still achieve pretty much anything you want. I can't imagine there's anybody watching this scratching their head right now, fucking blown away like, oh my fucking god, how did this happen? I mean, Charlie, the key did stick, so she's got a point, you can't explain that. I think everyone understands what happened here and how the key stuck to her chest for like half a second, but just in case, I'll go ahead and spoil the surprise and ruin Christmas here. I'll tell you how the sausage was made, break the magician's code, so it's not exactly like a David Blaine level trick or illusion. It's, you can do it with anything. You just press it against your skin, and then your sweat particles will eventually take hold of it if you press hard enough. You can literally do it with anything. Like, here's one of Bill Gates' microchips, and I could just have that sit there for a long time. You know, this isn't even metal. Like, it's just, you can do it with anything, and I think all of us know that, but for some reason, she used this like proof, like, look at this! My blood has been transmogrified into magnet crystals because of the vaccine! Obviously. It's like she's doing this to a class of 4-year-olds, like, who don't have object permanence yet. Like, I'm surprised she didn't also do, like, the pull the thumb away trick. Which now I look like a fucking idiot because I don't remember how that works. Is it like this? Look at this, the COVID vaccine is taking my thumb off. You can't explain that. My thumb's gone now, all because of the COVID vaccine. I also love how even in her demonstration, she couldn't get the bobby pin or the key to stick to her neck. So you can see the panic start to set in. She's like trembling a little bit as she knows that this is becoming a giant fucking train wreck. And I think that's beautiful. Even with the simplest thing in the world, which is just pressing an item against your skin to make it stick, she couldn't pull it off when she needed it most. Oh man, it's poetic, really. So I think that's great. The whole thing was a pretty wonderful demonstration and a look at delusion in a different light. And yeah, I just really wanted to share this because I thought it was really goofy and cool. I love the audience reaction behind her as they're just kind of laughing at her and kind of confused by the whole thing that she's bringing up. But I think the saddest part is this strikes me as someone who truly believes in this bullshit. I think they really did read one post on Twitter that said that the vaccine causes human body magnetism and potential spontaneous combustion of just erupting into blood and flames and tits everywhere. And she really took it to heart and believes it. So then on her lunch break, she took keys and bobby pins and paper clips and just started going full Hellraiser, just sticking them all over her body and panicking when they'd stick for more than a second, convincing herself that it truly was magnetism. So I'm sure she fully believed she was walking into this building ready to really break new ground here and be a hero. But obviously I don't think that was the case. I don't think even the most die-hard conspiracy theorists would watch this and like point to it as proof, like, look at that, you see, she's done it. Without a shadow of a doubt, she has confirmed that the COVID vaccine causes human magnetism. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share this because this is a real goofy one. That's about it. So yeah. You all know how much I love conspiracies, reptilians, flat earth, the revival of JFK Jr. and his upcoming presidency announcement, 5G, Wi-Fi, reprogramming gamer DNA, fucking microchips hidden in our spaghetti. I love all of it. But what if I told you there's a new and growing conspiracy that makes all of these look rational? I'm talking about the secret space program. The secret space program, to break it down, is basically a group of people who believe that they were at one point selected by space Nazis to fight intergalactic threats, and they are augmented super soldiers that have lived on Mars for 300, 400 years in some cases. They command high-tech mechs like Gurren Lagann shit straight out of an anime. And it's people who genuinely believe this. They have their own seminars, the meet and greets, they have their own community. I was recently made aware of this thanks to a YouTuber named Oki's Weird Stories, a fantastic channel, and a lot of work went into a video he produced where he talked about and infiltrated this conspiracy group. It's truly amazing. We watched it on stream, and I'll play clips of that now, but I'd encourage you to watch the full video. There was something on top of a mountain that was big. This whole thing is like a child believing the tooth fairy's real because when they put their
That's it. Okay. You said, I know what?
Do you know why this is special?
Why it's special?
Cause we had like a little bit of differences.
Our beef?
Our beef was crazy, chat. Our beef was one of the craziest beefs of 2020. When was that? 2023?
Yep.
Well,
they know what I did to you?
What you did?
You know when I got them people sent to your house?
First of all, you did not send nobody to my house.
Okay, all right. I thought you said it already. If you want me to say that, you should have told me before I came in.
When did you send somebody to my house?
You don't know I did that?
When?
Okay, whatever.
What? Okay, well, I got a question. What state do I live in? What state do I live in?
Where you was in Georgia, in Atlanta. Act like you know.
First of all, chat, so look, right? Alright, I'm gonna start from the beginning, okay, chat? So boom. Me and Glow, right? Me and Glow was friends. Me and Glow at the time, me and Glow was
at
good.
The time.
Wait, hold on, I'm explaining.
Give a damn. I was trying to do love.
Hey.
You gotta do it with me. Yeah.
Alright, chat.
Hey. I ain't got no worries. A cool number. My man. Therefore is a I got to on me. I make that juice and
Look. It's in your knees. You gotta. It might look scary. It might feel crazy. But you gotta just drop. Skin bone with the 100. Get the appreciate skin bone.
Okay.
You gotta just. Damn. Damn. But get back up with it like bounce, flow, like just flow. Let me see.
Do one more time.
All right, so boom, boom.
So you do the same leg?
Yeah, let's do the same leg. Yeah.
All right. Do it again.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Damn! You got it.
Okay.
You see, that's how you do it.
Uh-huh.
Let's get back to this song though, Glow.
Uh-huh.
I ain't got no worries. A crew number. My man. That boy is a
Ooh, you like to make it
talk on me. I make that bitch say la la la. Slide down on the ups and make them do shut. This my shit.
Shit. Wait.
So you was really fucking with that shit?
Yeah, what the f you mean? I'm my mama, y'all made me not like the song after a long time, but I was like, you know what? These the joint right here. Oh.
So you liked it?
Yeah.
Chat, this was the reaction to the song. Okay, let me see. Let me hear you out from your perspective. Let me see. I'm gonna put myself in your shoes. Okay. I'm in your shoes. Kai Snap just reacted to my song. Let's go see what he's gonna do. I'm gonna play you this cypher.
In Alabama, nigga. Your friend was talking crazy, I almost blamed that nigga. Treat her like some Kool-Aid, about to jam it in her. Special rock bottom, summer slam it in her. Beat a blind nigga ass, he ain't see it coming. Fuck a deaf nigga bitch, he hear her moaning. It's a good day, smoking a special ed class and got straight A's. Straight up to the penthouse, got kicked out in 6 days. Sitting on these niggas, get him a day. 7 figures, 2 months, go a parade. It couldn't get hard, she thought it was gay. She hot as fire, like 4th of July, 2 guns akimbo. Ego fly, bitch nigga scream for help, like aim high. You might die, shit can get scary, bloody like Mary. My haters catch a case out on bars like Barry. Never duck the smoke, I'm more like Tom than Jerry. Ask about me, nigga, I'm on your phone like Siri.
1 through 10, what you thought?
I'm not gonna lie.
1 through 10.
He was making sense. Like, he got balls.
Okay.
I give him an 8.5.
Really?
I actually liked what he was saying.
Okay. My boy Duke.
Go back in.
My boy Duke.
He a pretty boy, right? That's why I call him a pretty boy. Pretty boy.
Them shooters want you, they gon' find you, nigga. If that shit to drop it down for real. I just gotta find the time for shit. I ain't really got the time to kill. Really, it is what it is.
Brian.
Uncles hopped out the green, no Jetta, make your body quiver. Nowadays, I push up in the trailer bikini, and it's not no luck, man, it's not no Jimmy. I know you wish it was trying to save your feelings. Back then, I was trying to go and save my cheddar. Back then, when I was reading immigration letters, and back then, the shoebox fit the nice Beretta. And back then, my uncles hopped out the green, no Jetta, make your body quiver, make your shit do the jealous. Scarred you trash ass niggas, I straight litter. You living bitter, can't afford your babysitter. Your baby mom's at my crib, I'm straight with her. Straight with her, I'm a straight winner. I said every day, I'm sorry, God, I'm a straight sinner. I go live last night, I had some great dinner. My pockets keep getting fat, they don't get slimmer. I like Drake with the Margiela. My chain blind so much, I call it hella killer. My left hand mace, but my right hand a killer. And I freestyle this whole shit, I'm fella.
1 through 10. What'd you give it? 9.
I like his flow.
Oh, you like throwback song, like throwback New York type of vibes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Better with the 9, Agent 8.5, Duke, that is 7.
Pick an emotion.
Yeah, but it's chat, we got me.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
You feel me? But you got me next, chat.
I fuck with you, Chris.
Chat, we got me next.
Take you serious.
You got a coupe, I got a coupe, but it's the best of.
They don't even take you serious.
You got a coupe, I got a coupe, but it's the best of. Kept it playing, even when she tell me, but we friends though. Basically, areas on me, same size as Mentos. Just like Big Tigger, I bring rappers through the basement. Difference between you and me is I don't get complacent. If I cause spill adjacent, please don't try to race it. Streamer all day, next 50 summers, time to face it. If I retire now, I still be said I'm good for ages. Wouldn't wanna be on my deathbed, ain't no trading places. My life on Jackson Aces. Can't fuck with me if you're basic. My main look just just like the Matrix. Inside cocaine just like agent. Back and forth with my agent. If I press post, they raise wages. Bring up my boss, get open cases. I ain't care about where I sleep, long as my dude's crib gets spacious. Bad if you twist my head, came through, they ain't even slave. We heard the other side for judges, then nobody played. Anytime I talk, make sure your ears wide like gauges. Done been on many stages, but one song they still go crazy. Rolling on my wrist, bust down low as a baby. You do this before I do this shit because they pay me. Thank God I made it. I'm the people's champ, and they said I'm stamped. You with both the ramp, jumping out the house like I'm vamp. Check my couch, put that on my camp. Grew up like a lamp, and I'm never shy. Get her penny stamp. Choose.
The hell? I don't like his at all.
This breaking point that stalk you, escape or be consumed by their corruption.
Unexpected item in package area. Unexpected item in package area.
The line between past and future, your tactical.
That looks cool.
It was all but completely deadened by the eruption of the green. Harvest the resulting resources. The gods, each with their own wants, needs.
Each side is struggling to survive. Not only the bunnies need charge to survive, so does the monster. No two playthroughs are ever the same. To survive, you'll need a trustworthy team and perfect execution. Make use of our in-game positional voice chat. Bring friends or find other players using the server browser.
They should look crazy.
Took him away.
Yeah, these games look great.
She needs medicine. With the world falling apart like...
Do you have any idea what's going on?
God have mercy on their souls.
Can't do that yet. That skill's not ready.
see what's left of my wares. See you around.
So now what? I don't know where to go next. I don't know. I gotta... Alright, I'm gonna run to the store. I need milk. I want milk and I want cereal, so they do that. Might be back on the night. Well, how did I fall asleep today?